here's our shell, progressing nicely. So all those pencil marks are now converted to real V grooves. You can see that real well, but there's depth to that now. And there are, you know, these V grooves are at least halfway down. They're probably 1/16 of an inch deep. Now you can put more depth on the V grooves if you want right away. I generally don't. The next thing I'm going to do is start carving this center concave structure, and I'll do that with. I'll start probably with a 2.5, and I'll end up going to a small 3 or 2.8, something like that. But just, you know, you can start with a bench chisel, half-inch bench chisel, works fine. I'm just going to start running up alongside the V groove that I put in. 2.8, a little easier to control. On both sides. It's basically taking some relatively flat chisel and kind of on either side of that scribe mark that I made with the X-Acto knife, I'm deepening it. And it's ultimately going to go all the way to the field. I'm going to turn around and do the same thing on this side. Now this is going to be a convex. This will be on either side. These will be concaves. So flip the gouge around. And again, I'm thinking of V here now. I'm just trying to get a deeper V. I know that seems strange for something that's going to be convex, but you'll see in a minute how I do this. And I don't want these V's, the V, especially the shoulder that I put on either the convex surfaces, you don't want that to be real steep. And I think a 45-degree angle or something like that is fine. If it's too steep, in other words, if it's almost, you know, a 90-degree here, when you cut out the convex portion of this, you'll tend to break that off. So keep it fairly shallow. And watch your lines, those initial layout lines you put in, and you want to have a nice continuous arc. And this is the time when you can go adjust those. And by adjusting them, I mean if it's a flat in an area or bowed, you just, you know, you can move, you can take the ridge and move it one way or another by deepening this. Don't hesitate to cut this a little deeper with the X-Acto. Okay. Now I could work on the bottom of this, but it's easier to, you know, carve downhill. So I'm just going to focus on the from the center to the top of the shell for now. We're still using my 2.8. I could switch to a 3. Now I'm going to start rounding over the shell on the very end. So again, this is the convex lobe. I'm really taking virtually nothing off of the center. That's my high spot, and then these will be my low spots. I'll move the camera so you can see this better. Okay. All right. So now I've got a nice convex surface out on the very tip, and I just have to carry that all the way back. Again, you can use a bench chisel if you'd rather. Nothing magic about a number. Your eye will tell you when spots are a little flat or a little bulky. Just get it as close as you can. Good. Now it's not. This is far from done, but it's not bad. I'll rotate this around so you can see it. Right. So we started defining that convex lobe. Now, basically, I'm going to do that on all of these shapes as we move around the shell. So I'll go ahead and work on this convex lobe next. That's the way I do it. I work on one convex lobe at a time. And same exact process. The only problem is that as you move from the center to the bottom, the grain starts getting tricky. So the grain is coming this way. So when I make this first cut, this is really easy because I'm kind of going right with the grain. It'll just it won't tend to tear at all. It'll be really easy to cut. But when I come down this way, the chisel will tend to tear right, catch the grain and tear. So really sharp gouges, and you may have to come at different angles and be a little creative. And so hopefully I'll run into that. Be careful, especially out on the end here. Sometimes it's helpful to come like this. I don't know if you saw that or not. Yeah, you did. Okay, so just adjust your technique so that you don't tear out. Or just be aware of the tear out. Also, for these I'm riding the bevel of the gouge because of the tear out. If I flip the gouge over, it would tend to just drive right into the wood. Use a back bent gouge. That really is fraught with error. You want to be able to change your cutting angle, go to shearing if you need it, or be able to chop down like this. That's pretty important. So close there. I'll go back and refine this concave area. And all I'm trying to do now is I want to match these two depths. This side is a little bit deeper than this side. So I'm going to go back here, cut this in a little bit more.